Today we're going to have a look at the Paint Station 2.0 from Northern Realm. This is the kit set that comes when you order one of these Paint Station 2.0s from Northern Realm. It's made of clear and black 3mm acrylic, so it's going to look quite nice once it's made. This model is designed with 34mm holes to take Citadel paint pots, so you can fit your Games Workshop pots straight into this. It takes 35 pots, and it's also got little 8mm holes for paint brushes or tools or whatever as well. Now, because this comes with no instructions, I'm assuming it's incredibly easy to put together. Now we've got 4 shelves, 5 shelves. We've got a couple of these sides. Presumably these little slot holes go at the back. And I guess this slots in here. This one presumably slots in here. I'm guessing this is the top shelf because it's the smallest. I'm guessing the other ones don't matter much which way round they go because they all look the same. We'll find it out in a minute. I'm getting lots of little bits of stuff attaching itself to this with static electricity. So that's how this fits together. Relatively simple, but unless I glue it, it's going to be incredibly easy to make it fall to pieces. So my plan for this paint rack is to use it to store the work in progress paints. So any paints that I'm using for any project at the moment are going to go into this rack, and my overall big store of paints is going to sit somewhere else. Now the paint pots fit in this really nicely. It just is incredibly wobbly unless it's all glued together. We've got a very nice looking paint rack that's a little bit wobbly, and I'm going to have to quickly figure out what I can glue it with to make sure that I don't end up losing some of this lovely clearness, because there's no point in ruining the look of the thing. It does look pretty nice. So here the rack is full of paints. On the plus side, this is a really nice looking paint rack, but there are some downsides. Firstly, you're going to have to glue it together if you want it to be a sturdy rack. It does have a little bit of a shuggle in it, and you probably couldn't pick the whole thing up and move it around very easily without the risk of dropping all your paints. Secondly, the 8mm holes fit most paintbrushes, but they don't fit the triangle-handled Army Painter paintbrushes. They are big enough to fit things like average scalpel handles though, so they're pretty useful. The final downside of this compared to MDF is that static electricity is causing everything to cling to it. If you were to get your static flock too close to this, it would absolutely cling to the whole thing and cover it in little bits of fluff. So be careful with that. On the whole, I'm pretty happy with this paint rack. Does the job it needs to, looks pretty cool, and it holds 35 Citadel paints. This is a really good rack with a bit of room for improvement. This rack costs 65 New Zealand dollars, so it's not the cheapest rack, but it's definitely not the most expensive either. I'm going to give this rack a solid 7.5 out of 10, even although it's not the most solid rack without a bit of glue. The manufacturer does say that they're planning to release a lot of different shelves to hold things like the Vallejo dropper bottles. So this is going to be an expandable range. Hopefully they'll have corner shelving and some other stuff as well. Here's a list of the improvements I would like with the next version of this. I would like some of the 8mm holes to be bigger so that you can fit triangular Army Painter paintbrushes in them. I would like options for smaller paint pot holes so that you could have a mixture of Citadel and Vallejo dropper bottles. I would like the fit between the pieces to be a little bit tighter so it wasn't quite so shaky. And it would also be cool if there was some different colours available rather than just black. With those changes, I think this could be a 10 out of 10 paint rack. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and ring the bell 13 times to summon the Horned Rat.